السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا بكم. Today إن شاء الله we are going to finish the first concept in theme 4. Today we are going to talk about theme 4 concept 1, the effect of gravity. إن شاء الله we are going to finish concept effect of gravity by activities 10, 11 and 12. Firstly, my dear students, look at this picture. What can you see? I can see what? Yeah, there are pictures of planets. And there is also one in the center. What's in the center? It represents what? The sun. And there are 8 planets. And these planets and moon and also other celestial bodies revolve around the sun. So that's called the solar system. So this picture represents solar system. In the solar system, each planet revolves around the sun. Yeah? And this motion or this revolution is called what? A revolution. And in a fixed path, this path called orbit. Again, the path is called what? Orbit. So each planet revolves around the sun in a fixed orbit. What about the shape of the orbit? Yeah, each orbit takes the shape of oval or ellipse. So planets revolve around the sun in a fixed path called orbit. Yeah, and if we are going to test that, solar system contain what? Contain the sun, and planets revolve around the sun, and this revolve in a fixed path. That's for the Earth. And also each planet had a path where it moves. So each planet found in a path or found in an orbit, and that's called what? The Earth or the planet's revolution around the sun. But is this path a real path? Is it line like this picture? No, my dear students. It's imaginary line. It's what? Imaginary one. And it's what can't be a real one. But the planets keep this orbit and move in this orbit and can't leave them. Okay, what about the speed of the planet? Yeah, each planet has a speed. Yeah, and it moves with the speed. This is speed for Earth, for example, equal 100,000. What? 107,000 kilometer per hour. 107,000 kilometer per hour. Yeah, and it moves with this speed around what? Around the sun. But what keeps the planet revolve in this path and fix it in this orbit and can leave the orbit and move in another one? Why? That's, my dear student, due to a massive force. Due to what? A force. This force is the massive one, but it's also invisible. Yeah, it's due to a force. This force is invisible force. Yeah, and this force is called gravity. So, you know that gravity make me sit on the chair now. Sit my computer on the table, the water on the earth. But gravity. And the gravity here is invisible force and invisible attraction force. Again, it's invisible attraction or pulling force. Is it a push? No, gravity is a pull force. Yeah, is it? No, it's attraction force. And this force hold and keep all planet in their place. So in the question in the last slide, ask me why each planet found in its place. My answer will be due to gravity, which is invisible attraction or pulling force that hold all planets in their place. Okay, and my dear students, this gravity found between sun to the earth, and the earth push on also, make a gravity to the sun. But which one had the greatest pull? The one which had the greatest pull is the sun. Why? Because the sun has big mass. So the great gravitational pulling force of the sun keeps what? My dear students, keeps what? Keeps the planet revolving in fixed orbit. Okay, so that's the reason why the planets move in a fixed orbit. And if there were no gravity, it's a very important question. What happened when no gravity? No gravity, so the planets would fly off into space. If no gravity, between the sun and the planets, no planet or no moon or no thing found in its place. So they will fly off into the space. And also, it's a very important question. So here we can find the reason gravity is in why the planets, in their orbit, due to the invisible attraction force, which hold the planets in their place. And if the question, what happened when there is no gravity between the Earth and the planets, now the answer would be the planets would fly off into the space. Now, let's solve this question. Give a reason for the sun is the only center of motion in the solar system. Why sun is the only center of motion? Sun found in the center of the solar system. And the question, my dear students, ask me why? Give a reason for. Sun is the only center of motion in the solar system. Here, my dear students, there is just one center and one star in the solar system, which is called the sun. And this sun found in the center of the motion of the solar system. Why? Because sun is much bigger than the other object. No object found in the solar system big like the sun or bigger than it. So it has more mass. So also have more gravity pulling force to other planets toward it. Because the sun much bigger than other object in the solar system. So gravity pull the other planet toward it. Okay, now, my dear students, let's check your understand with these questions. The force of what? Keep planets on their path around the sun. Is it the force of friction? No. Friction between objects, and it's a touching force. Air resistance? No. Air resistance slow the speed of object. Electricity? No. The electricity not a force, it's energy. But gravity is the force that keep planets on their path around the sun. The next one. Gravity is visible pulling force. Gravity not a visible, but it's a pull force. Is it a visible pushing? We did that. It's not a visible force. Is it invisible? Yeah, it's invisible, but it's not a push. So we will choose what gravity is, what invisible force that hold all objects in their place. Okay. Now, let's move with the next one. Sun revolve around the earth. Is it true or false? Sun revolve around the earth? No, it's false. The correct one that the earth revolve around the sun, not the opposite. Yeah, the earth can revolve around the sun, but the sun can't revolve around the earth. So take care to this point, my dear student. The next one. Planets revolve around the sun. Yeah, planet until now revolve around the sun. All planets revolve around the sun by the effect of gravitational, by gravity. Pushing? No, by gravitational, yes. Now, that's a false one. So, my dear students, take care to this question. They are tricky one. Yeah, Earth that revolve around the sun, not this. And all the sentence is true, except it's a pushing what force. The next one. Gravity is attraction. Until now, it's a true force that can be seen easily. Can you see the gravity easily? No, it can't be seen. Now let's move to another question. There's a boy called Husam. And Husam on Earth affected by a force, yeah, of the Earth weighs 50 Newton. And Husam has a friend. His friend tells him he will only weight 8.3 Newton on the moon. Why would Husam weight it change? Why the weight of Husam change? It is because Earth has stronger gravity pull on Husam. Yeah, here firstly Husam was on the Earth. Then he moves to the moon. If the Earth pulls Husam toward it like the moon, no, the Earth has a stronger gravitational pull on Husam. It's true. But the second one, Husam's weight will not change. No, the firstly was 50, then it will be 8.3. And his friend is incorrect. Now, my dear students, his friend is correct. Earth has stronger magnetic field. Earth is stronger magnetic field. Know what the relation between the magnetic field? Moon is larger and has more gravity than Earth. No, it's more, of course false. Moon is smaller than the Earth. Let's move to another one. Read the description that follow and choose three examples which best show how the force of gravity pull object toward the center of the earth. Man ride an escalator up to the main floor. Use it up. So there is gravity or against the gravity. It's against the gravity. Gravity move it down. But now he moves it up. So it falls. A girl threw a ball up in the air. Now it's against the gravity. And watching it fall to the ground. Now that's related to gravity. A pencil roll off a table and then drop onto the floor. Now it's toward the earth, so it's gravity. A plane fly in air. There is a plane fly in air? No, that's not a gravity. Finally, so the first one, if the girl threw a ball in the air and watch it fall to the ground. The next, a pencil roll off a table and drops onto the floor. Finally, a skydiver jump out of plane. This will be the three sentences. Okay, let's move to another question. It's very easy, but it needs to read it correctly. Gravity is an important force in a solar system. Yeah, right? The solar system objects in an order from least to most. From the least to the most, yeah, across 4 columns. Firstly, Sun, Earth, Jupiter, Moon. Here, my dear students, you will think that the one with the smallest mass will have the least amount of gravity. Again, the one with what? With the smallest mass will have the least amount of gravity. And the one with the biggest mass, it will have the biggest amount of gravity. Okay? So now we will figure to what? To the mass. Okay? Let's move to which one has the least amount of what? Of gravity. Yeah, my dear students, that's the moon. The next one, which is bigger? Yeah, my dear students, that's the earth. What's more? One which has, it's also a planet, but it has more mass and more gravity than the earth. Now it will be what? Jupiter. Finally, the greatest amount of what? Mass to which planet? Yeah, my dear students, it will be to the greatest what? The sun. Okay. Now, let's move to another one. Yeah, which? Look at the object listed. Yeah, listed and what? And read them. Rate them from what to what? Rate them, my dear students, from 1 to 5 by amount of gravitational force and dirt them. One will be the list, and what and 5 will be the greatest what gravity. Let's start, my dear students. Yeah, okay. Firstly, which one had the least mass? The least mass will be a bowling ball. The next one, which has more mass and more gravity. Yeah, my dear students, that's not the moon. There's a track here. Now, that's the rule of the track. The next one, which one had the most? Yeah, the greatest is the moon. And finally, there's what? There's the Earth, mass and more gravity than the moon. The biggest one here is the sun. Sun is the biggest, yeah, gravity in the solar system. So it's simply, but need attention to solve it correctly. That we start from the least to the most. Now, there is a question. What does air resistance do to the speed? What does again air resistance do to the speed as it falls down by gravity? Effect of air resistance to the speed. If the air resistance speed the object, of course no. If the air resistance doesn't affect the speed, yeah. If the air resistance slow down, that's the true one. Yeah? Okay. Is the air resistance it change the direction of the object as it fall? No, that's the gravity. Gravity change the direction, but air resistance slow the speed of the object. Now, my dear students, let's start to what? To solve an exercise generally on concept 4.1. Firstly, complete the following sentences. The gravity of the moon. Again, gravity of the moon affect the phenomenon of ocean tides. Take care to this point. Moon has gravity here, and it affect on the ocean tides. The second one, a person can control the speed of his bike by using what? By using what of the bike? By using what? To slow his what? By using the brakes to slow the movement. So, to control the speed of the bike, we use the brakes to slow the movement. After that, the force that keep planets around the sun. Force keep planets around the sun is called what? What the name of the force that keep all the planets in their place around the sun? It's the sun's gravitational force. The next one. When the distance between the moon and the earth increase, moon and earth increase. So the gravitational attraction force will decrease. When the distance increase, the gravitational attraction force will decrease. But when the mass increase, the gravitational attraction force will increase. So it's like the mass and opposite to the distance. Now, let's solve this question. What true or false? Gravity pull objects to where the center of the earth? Yes, it's true. It pull object to where the center of earth. Magnetism is the type of friction? Of course, no. It's false. But what? Air resistance is the type of friction. If there is no air in the space, so air resistance slow down the movement through the space? No, no air. So no air resistance. Scientist Nicholas Copernicus stated that the earth revolves around the sun. That's true, my dear students. The great scientist Nicholas Copernicus said that the earth revolves around what? Around the sun. Now, let's solve the following question. Give reason. Now, let's solve this question. Get reason for the following. Gravity of the earth is greater than the gravity of the moon. That's due to the difference between the earth's mass and the moon's mass. Earth has greater mass and gravitational force than the moon. Okay, what happened? You throw two iron poles have same mass from same height. Okay, two iron poles, same mass, same height. They will fall to the ground at the same time. The next one. Scientific term, force by which the metals are attracted or pulled to magnet. Metals attracted to the magnet by magnetism. A tool used by a skydiver to slow his drop. This tool is called parachute. Now, let's solve this question finally and check your understanding. Complete the following. What reduces the speed of moving object in air? Of course, there is a very important force that reduces the speed of a moving object in the air, and my dear students, we can say that this force is called air resistance. It's a force that decreases the speed of a moving object through air, and it's a type of friction force. Scientific term, the force that arises between two objects in contact and slow down the movement. Of course, my dear students, it's friction force. The reason moon revolve around the earth due to the gravity of what? The word gravity only, it's a false, and it's not a complete answer. So the question will be due to the gravitational force of Earth. Must say that gravitational force of what? Of Earth. And Earth has greater mass and gravitational force than the moon. Finally, correct the underlined word. Earth is the center of motion in the solar system. Of course, that's the sun. The magnet pull metal paper clip because of which type of force? That's my dear student, due to magnetism. Now, that's all for today. Waiting for you, inshallah, in the last concept in our curriculum. Well, assalamu alaikum